Alright guys, like I said, I'm going to show you me fixing up this mower. What I did today was I welded a piece of 22 gauge sheet metal to the bottom side of the deck, and I used a flux core welder. MIG with shielding gas would probably be much better. I don't have shielding gas, so I'm going to show you what I did, and it seems to be very solid. It's holding up. Covered with a tarp, that is, but it feels like it's like it should be. It's solid. So here we go. Enjoy. Keep in mind this advice and this tutorial is unlicensed, uncertified. It's just how I do it. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps somebody. And make sure you're comfortable when you're doing stuff like this. Otherwise, you're going to be pissed. Because it's still uncomfortable even with this. The whole process is uncomfortable. Here I'm removing the belt covers. There's the left side, the center belt cover, and the right side. I'm recording this part right here to show myself how the belt goes on before I take it off. I did go back and look at this when I was reassembling the belt and everything in the deck, so just pay attention to where it goes. Here I'm taking the belt off. It came off pretty easily. It was a little more difficult getting back on, but not bad. I'm removing the front and rear deck pins here, pulling out all 4 cotter pins, and then the whole mower will tilt backwards and release the deck. Alright, here's what I got. Took an angle grinder to the outside, not as important as the bottom. So, I cleaned up everything around where I'm going to put the piece of sheet metal. The best that I could reach in here. Try to get it down to bare metal the best I could. So when I cut this, well, first, I got this piece of cardboard here. Let's try to use it as a template to kind of figure out where I'm at, where it needs to be. So when I transfer it to this, I try to bend it and cut it. I already got my line there, so this is 22 gauge. Gosh, I hope it doesn't burn through. But if it does, I'll let you know. I was trying every way possible to see what I was doing, but with the welding helmet on, I just couldn't see a thing in that corner closest to me where the lip bends up towards me. The bottom edge of the deck, I just couldn't see a thing. So I took the mask off. I don't recommend doing that, but I had no other option. Being that I was doing this without the welding helmet, I did have full goggle eye protection on. And once I got my torch where I needed it, I shut my eyes and I prayed for the best. I rigged up a reverse clamp to spread the force needed to push that piece of sheet metal flat as possible up against the bottom of the deck. So there's a better way to do it, I'm sure. I didn't have the tools to do that, so this is what I did. The sheet metal is so thin, you burn right through it if you're not careful. So I kind of just did a little pulse, then I would wait a few seconds, go up about a half an inch, do another pulse. Once it all cooled, I would go back and do a few more in between those gaps after I cleaned it off with a wire wheel. Here I'm just using some random metal objects to hold it as flat as possible so I can tack weld and do this little pulsing thing. And this method worked out pretty well as far as keeping it flat. Overall, I'd say it worked out pretty well. The welds obviously look like crap, but when you're doing sheet metal like this, you don't have many options as far as trying to not burn through it, but it feels very solid. I smacked on it with a hammer, got it positioned how I wanted it as I held it down in certain areas with a hammer and tacked it. After I finished welding, I took a wire wheel on the drill, cleaned it up, and then I reassembled the deck on the mower and tested it to make sure that it starts up and the blades engage and all that, and they don't come in contact with anything. So this is going to sum up this video. On the next video, I'm going to paint and prime the bottom side in the photo here, and then I'm going to use some sort of Bondo and fill in the top side after I grind it down nice and level, and then repaint that and make it look like new. Thanks for watching.